I got scared for a second there. I'm like, all right, well, I got to go to the next player right away. All right, okay. Now going on to our other player. Is there anybody here who would like to see a Korean lose and maybe have Sen take this? If so, I want you to make some noise.
Well,
all right, and I immediately, as the game started, tried to start observing this as if we were back to some of our other events. So over here, we do have Sen in the bottom left. It's a one-on-one map. The map is Xel'Naga Caverns, and up here in the upper right is our Korean player, oGsZenio.
That is him, Tasteless. Two amazing Zergs. Zenio has shown a lot of power in ZVZ. He has been able to beat... Wait a minute. Oh, no.
Good call there. That was close. Now, of course, yeah, we're going to turn these busy things on because not everybody on the internet is a good human being.
No, that's
so
quite true, Tasteless.
Settings on there. So, anyways, moving on to this game. It's a one-on-one map, Zerg versus Zerg. Frankly, I think this matchup's actually a lot better than it was in StarCraft 1. It was almost a little bit broken in StarCraft 1. I mean, we basically had Zerglings and Mutalisks, and I guess if you count Overlords as drones and stuff, that we want to talk about, then that's basically what you had. Here in StarCraft 2, a little bit different. A lot of different ways to approach the matchup, whether it's one base, openings or two bases. We can see mass Zerglings, Roaches. We can have Banelings. There's a lot of different angles to take, and of course, as the game moves on, things get pretty complicated.
That is quite true, Tasteless. Sen is actually one player that we see do a lot of different styles.
Right.
We've seen him, especially a little bit earlier on in StarCraft 2 when he was playing more televised matches, doing a lot of economy-heavy builds where he actually makes a lot of spine crawlers.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to see, will he go with a Roach-based play with his expansion? We see both players are taking quick expansions on Xel'Naga Caverns, or maybe, just possibly, will we see a Mutalisk play?
It could be. Our observer pointed out earlier on the screen here, there's a wide berth at the entrance of your expansion, so you got to be careful. If you do go Mutalisks, man, I mean, there's a lot of different angles you can be attacked at. There's a lot of different ways you can basically lose in that position. But let's face it, I mean, with that being said, Mutalisks are a little bit less predictable if you get that out there, if you get that on the map, and you haven't been tampered with, you're going to do a lot of damage. In this case, both these guys went for quick hatchery, so there's not too much deviation in their build orders just yet, but as time passes, we're certainly going to see something occur.
Yeah, no, nothing quite yet. They have basically the same amount of everything, 17 drones each, 2 OVs, building their pools, getting their gas going, and it looks like it's going to be a complete mirror, and the more it mirrors itself, I feel like Sen is going to take the advantage. He is one of the best macroers in the whole world, and I don't feel like that's exactly Zenio's best trait.
Yeah, Zenio, generally the Koreans tend to be known for having the best macro, but I totally agree with you in this case. I think actually, yeah, Sen's macro a little bit stronger. In my experience with training against Sen personally, and you get this when you face off against really, really good Zerg players, and maybe some of the viewers can relate to this too. I know you can, but when you play somebody who's just too good with Zerg, you never get to get out of your base. Every time you come out, they just have more stuff than you, and it's a terrible feeling. And he might be experiencing that in this game.
Well, Tasteless, if that's the case, what if two good Zergs play each other?
I don't know.
No one can leave their base.
A black hole
just have to sit.
I have no idea what would happen then. But no, we have a Baneling nest here.
From both players.
Yeah.
Speed going up at about the same time as well. It looks like they're making the same amount of drones also. So a complete mirror from them right now.
I got to say, this is actually fairly rare to see this long. In ZVZ, looks like we're going to have a pause. Now, you know what would be a great idea that they could do on this downtime? They could add us on Twitter.
Could they?
People in the audience are like, no, I can't. I'm not on my computer. Get on your cell phone. Call me Tasteless. Someone said, what's Twitter? Don't heckle me. I can hear you from here. He's Artosis. Or you can check us out at thehandsomenerd.com. I've seen a lot of the guys down here with the shirts. It's a real treat. See all you guys down here. Okay, the game's going, so enough shameless plugging. Back to this game.
All right. Well, it looks like Zenio going to go up by one drone right now, Tasteless. And, well, it's not a huge deal, but one drone is one drone. Both of them making a bunch of Zerglings. Sen making a little bit more than Zenio right now and already making some Banelings.
All right, this is a kind of a weird situation when you get two guys both going for Banelings because, obviously you won't want your own Banelings hitting your opponent's Banelings except for rare situations. And with one Zergling, being able to take out one Baneling, it gets into a very funky situation. a lot of intense micro. One small mistake, you could lose the game. We see a few Zerglings now slipping in here, going into the drone line. He does have some good scouting here, Sen does, so this is a good position for him. Now coming around to the other side.
We do have a lot of Sen Zerglings up here, but Zenio is very well defended. He has that Spine Crawler, he has Banelings of his own, and it doesn't look like any real damage is going to be done up at Zenio's base.
All right, we have more Banelings on the way right now. A little bit of cat and mouse here, somewhat of an interception. Backing up now, the Overlord does have that over the Banelings.
Well, with those Banelings there, Tasteless, those Zerglings are going to have to run away, and ooh, what was that right there?
Be careful.
And some more Banelings coming out.
All right, one Baneling still running through here. He needs a sack. One Zergling to go over. More Banelings come over, taking out drones. A lot of kills over here.
Zenio's doing a great job right now, Tasteless. He's killed a lot of Sen Zerglings. He's harassing the drone line. And suddenly Sen is making 10 roaches before Zenio even has his roach warren. That is a huge deal right now.
Yeah, we could see a pretty impressive counterattack over here right now. The supply is about 55 to 50. Zenio in a slight, well, actually, he's not in the lead. Excuse me, that's Sen in the lead. And he will, he's going to be in trouble because when you go Banelings, man, you're not going to have a ton of units, not enough to deal with these roaches.
The roaches finding these Banelings on the side, going to be able to take those out, and Zenio is not going to be happy about that. Each one of those he kills is less roaches that Zenio can make, and Sen is just going right across the map, droning up a little bit behind it. Well, Zenio, he's starting to make roaches now as well, so the attack may not do as much damage as we previously thought.
Yeah, if he does attack, he's going to want to go for, well, if Sen does attack, obviously Zenio's going to want to go for a counterattack. His army can't actually confront Sen's right now. Sen did absorb the Baneling damage pretty well and is now in a fairly good position.
Well, we have a lot of roaches at the natural of FnaticSen. He is getting some upgrades, but it is slower than Zenio, so he's going to be ahead on that +1 attack for his roaches. And it looks like it's just massive roach time. They're both going to have to squeeze in drones as they can, squeeze in tech as they can, but mostly it's just going to be producing roaches for now.
All right, at this moment, I think Zenio trying to figure out what the best way is to play from this position here. Sen doing a little bit more turtling for the time being. Zenio now moving out, moving southward, and Zenio's supply now up to 95, so Sen's slightly behind here.
And as he comes down, Sen has to run away from those rocks. Looks like Sen just continuing to make roaches, and that's basically what's going to happen for a while. Lings and roaches.
Zenio must be pretty confident here. I mean, this little bottleneck, I think, would favor Sen, but apparently Zenio thinking he has more than his opponent. Regrouping here now with the few Banelings. Oh, hold that thought. We have the roaches attacking now.
Nice little move there by Sen, sniping a roach.
Go around with the Banes.
The Zergling's trying to come in to get some hits, and Sen's Banelings there out of position. In comes Zenio, and some very nice Banelings landing on those roaches, dealing a ton of damage, but Zenio is deep in Sen territory. His rallies are going to come out a lot quicker.
Oh my God,
Zenio,
I think actually Zenio has this. He's breaking through. The Queen is down. There's more on the way, but I think right now, the amount of drones that should be killed when all these roaches are gone, the economy should be basically in shambles here. And, Zenio, he's looking pretty confident, did that taunt, actually he's going to walk towards the
oh my.
Clearly he had that for a reason.
GG, Tasteless.